Welcome to Miracle Network's Wednesday meditation. I'm so glad that we're all here together. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to click the subscribe button below to receive updates and notifications. Today we're joined by Jim Whiting, who will lead us in meditation. Then we'll have 20 minutes of silence. After that, we'll open it up for sharing, and we end at 10:45. Over to you, Jim.
Thank you, Darren, and thank you everybody for being here. It was going to be Ken Gorman taking the meditation today, but he's had a family bereavement, so he can't be with us. He sends his love, of course, and I'm sure we all send him ours. Anyway, last week I was asked to do a little plug for the Miracle Network for people who were perhaps exploring what was available. I think it's going on the Miracle Network website at some point. But I chose to focus on lesson 37, which is about our holiness. And it's something that puts people off a bit if they're new to the course, this word holiness, because, the course, as with many words, the course uses the word in a particular way. And it's basically about our being sons of God who lack nothing. So I'll read you part of the lesson. I won't read the whole lesson, but I'll read part of it because there's so much in it. And I'll leave spaces between the sentences because the spaces between words and sentences are where the truth of the words can be revealed. The words point to truth, but the spaces are where the truth can be known. So it's always good to really take in these words because every one of them is valuable. But I'll just get the lesson up on my screen here. It's lesson 37. My holiness blesses the world. This idea contains the first glimmerings of your true function in the world, or why you are here. Your purpose is to see the world through your own holiness. Thus are you and the world blessed together. No one loses. Nothing is taken away from anyone. Everyone gained through your holy vision. It signifies the end of sacrifice because it offers everyone his full due. And he is entitled to everything because it is his birthright as a son of God. Your holiness blesses him by asking nothing of him. Those who see themselves as whole make no demands. Your holiness is the salvation of the world. It lets you teach the world that it is one with you, not by preaching to it, not by telling it anything, but by merely your quiet recognition that in your holiness are all things blessed along with you. So that is the essence, I think, of that lesson. And it reminds us that we never really lack anything. We believe we do much of the time. We're often searching for something to make us complete when we're complete already. We sometimes feel lost because we've forgotten we're already home. It's all a mistake. Grievances that we have against other people, they come from the word grief. And grief means that we feel we've lost something, and we haven't. Or if we've lost anything at all, we just lost the memory of who we are. So that's the real loss. We only ever lose the memory of who we are, nothing in this world. And again, this lesson reminds us of that. So we can look at what the ego is demanding the world provides in order to make us complete. Because it's only the ego that makes demands. And it believes it will get something and that will make it happy or complete or whatever. We might be wanting, more money, a desired object, the approval or agreement of another, perhaps better health. All of these things we will believe make us complete. We can be complete without any of these things. and that's what we can reflect on. In the meditation, obviously, again, it's a matter of focusing on the silence between the thoughts. That's the main thing in meditation, focusing on the silence. If you have a meditation object that you think of, a name of God, or any other form of meditation that you use, by all means, go ahead. But the main focus always is the silence in between the thoughts, and seeing what's really there. If a grievance comes up, or if a desire comes up, just look at it and think, well, is this really necessary to this silence, this stillness that I truly am? And see what happens. So if we could start the meditation now with Teresa, please. My Holiness, breathing in.
Open your eyes and come back into the room. We have 19 minutes left for sharing. If you'd like to share, raise your hand and I'll invite you to take yourself off mute. Who would like to share? Jan, take yourself off mute.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Jim. I love that. I really like that. And thank you for so ably stepping in for. Oh, I had a little sign. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much for stepping in so ably. Oh, today, I don't know quite what's happening with my iPad, but it's doing strange things. Anyway, just to say, I loved it. I loved this beautiful, beautiful lesson, but I loved, the clarity that you gave us, which is we've just forgotten. We've forgotten. Nothing's changed. Our innocence, our perfection, who we are is there, but we've just forgotten. And what came to mind is Carol Howell's thing, something like no fuss, no muss. She says that. She repeats that quite often. No fuss, no muss. So it was just a lovely, clear message of, we've just forgotten. Thank you. And it's great that you're doing an introduction, I think you said, did you, on Miracle, on the YouTube for Miracle Network?
Just a short plug.
Yeah.
2 or 3 minutes. It's not long.
Yeah. No, well, if it has that sort of clarity, it was good. Well done. Thank you very much, Jim.
Thank you, Jan. Thank you.
Who'd like to share?
I'd like to come in. Jim, thank you. Thank you very much for stepping in. And I loved what you said. And I'm going to keep a note till it's in there. But where you said space between the words is where truth can be known. And I thought, I recognize that. I always think I can't, my mind, it's always going, but there is space, and that is where truth can be felt, and where the words of lessons or any beautiful words can be felt. So thank you for verbalizing that, because I've never heard it like that before. So it was a lovely meditation. Thank you.
Thank you, Teresa.
Who'd like to share? Sandy, take a step off mute.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you for stepping in last minute. That was really wonderful. I found it quite interesting when I started to sit with I am holy, that the ego wanted to make it into I am holy as if got lots of holes in. And I just smiled to myself and thought, well, I have really, and I'm quite leaky with my thoughts and everything going on. So I just invited the ego to come and sit with me while I sat with my holiness, as in, I am holy child of God. And it just felt so beautiful and peaceful. And it's very heavy here with the rain, and I'm in my studio, so it's quite noisy. And I just felt like that was just washing away everything that is not of God, of holy. It was really, really beautiful. So I really loved that. But it made me think I am leaky. I do need to be more careful with my thoughts and, just be more vigilant, really. And I also loved that you said that grievance comes from grief. That really hit home to me, that, it is a loss of remembering who we are. And that was really beautiful. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandy. Of course, the ego is right. It is full of holes. So when the ego is speaking to you, it is full of holes. But of course, in the course, the word holiness simply means wholeness, completeness. It's our state of lacking nothing. And if we lack nothing, we don't make any demands, as the lesson tells us. Our demands on the world and other people all fall away because we don't need anything from them. and all the holy relationships that we have can be seen for what they are. Sorry, all the special slip there. All the special relationships we have can be seen for what they are. You know, it's just a way of seeing things through the eyes of wholeness rather than being full of holes or feeling lack. And I think it's a wonderful lesson. So anyway, thank you.
Jim, what lesson was that?
37.
Lesson 37. Thank you. Thank you, Jim, for stepping in at the last moment. That was wonderful. And there are no accidents. It was perfect. And I really like the lesson you chose, and to be reminded that that we are holiness. We're not these bodies, and I don't need anything to make me complete. And it's just a beautiful reminder that I need to keep hearing, because I forget. You know, I think, oh, I need this and that, and I don't. I'm complete, and like we all are. I'm done.
Speaking of obviously the completeness of the brotherhood, because when we first hear this sentence, your holiness is the salvation of the world. You know, me? But of course, holiness is everybody, is every son of God. It's everybody in the world. It's everything, everybody is holy. It's not about us, except in the sense that we are the sons of God, as everybody is. So it's making that distinction between, again, who we really are in truth, that we forget much of the time, and who we think we are. Who we think we are is full of holes, as Sandy said, or as Sandy's ego said. Who we are is full of holes. Who we think we are is full of holes. And it's just remembering that, no, that isn't, the one that is full of holes, of lacks, of losses, is not who we truly are. I'll remember that, Sandy. It's very good.
Who'd like to share? Lati.
Yes, I'm listening to this. I was kind of wondering how that actually plays out in the world, and how conscious the world is of our holiness, blessing it. And I was led to think, just reminded that it's actually 1 year today since my sister died. And she was a very gentle soul. And I saw her as being the holiness that has blessed me throughout my life, in a way that no one else in the family has, or not consciously, but I was conscious of hers, and that was beautiful. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Lossie. It is often other people who remind us of this. We can be in the presence of people who we feel totally at ease with. And we're totally at ease because they're not making any demands of us. I mean, this is love, actually, to actually not want anybody to be anything other than what they are. There may be things we don't like about people, but liking isn't the same. Loving is just not wanting anyone else to be anything different, not wanting a situation to be anything different. Again, there may be something about a situation we don't like, but if we don't want it to be anything different, we remember who we are. We remember our wholeness, that we can manage. We can be with that without reacting. And it's a lovely reminder that so many people that we come into contact with have this quality of just being themselves and not wanting anything from us, just enjoying our company, just enjoying being with us, just enjoying themselves and being with us or whatever. And we can be that light as well at times. We can also remember who we truly are and be that light for others. So not that it's not a concern about how others are receiving us. It's not our business how the world receives us. Our business is to receive the world.
My sister, the other thing about silence between the words, my sister had Alzheimer's for the last 2 years of her life. and there was a lot of silence between the words, and that I kind of valued, because when she did speak, it was something. Wow. Yeah.
Who would like to share? Victoria.
Oh, hi, James. Thank you for that. I loved that you've paused between each sentence. And I wondered if you could talk to that a bit. It's just I quite often find that there's this sort of instant clarity that comes after a sentence and then it disappears again. And if I read it again, it's different. Anyway, could you talk to that? Because that was just really effective.
Well, when you say that when you read something again, it's different, that's true, because it's always new. When you read something and then pause, you're connecting with the silence and the truth. If you read it again, it's fresh. And it may well reveal something else in the silence. And this is how we progress in the course. We read the lessons again and again and again. Each time, it's as though we haven't read them before, because each time they're telling us something new. They're showing us something about ourselves that has changed since we first read that lesson. And as Christ said, behold, I make all things new. And that's how, again, that comes back to our true self. Our true self makes all things new. We don't know anybody, we don't know anything except in the moment that we're with them. That is the truth. The belief is that we do know lots of things about lots of people. We have all sorts of opinions and views of people, some good, some bad. They're all irrelevant. I don't know whether that answers your question. I've forgotten what the question was. Does that in any way answer your question, Victoria?
Yeah, no, I know you just said it was really valuable to pause after each phrase, and I was just wanting to check, your reason why and hear an explanation. So that's fine, yeah.
Yes, it is really connecting with the newness of all things, really. That pause enables us to drop the past and connect with newness, the newness of life.
Yeah, thank you. And also I'm presuming like each phrase in the course is so full. It gives us chance to digest it.
Yes, good, yes, thank you.
Dennis, take yourself off mute.
Thank you for that reminder about the silence between the words. And the way to listen to Mozart is the silence between his music. And what you were saying just now is rather beautiful, because the first time I read the course, I read it, and the second time I thought it was quite magical because there were things in it that weren't there before. And the third time I read it, there was even more that wasn't there before. So it's quite magical. Thank you. And thank you, James.
Thank you, Dennis.
Who'd like to share? Oh, Ayu, take yourself off mute.
Thank you, Dan. Just recently, I started to see a little new shoot of I don't know the name of the flower, but the snowdrop, I know, a little small height of the flowers. And it's so beautiful. And I take a photograph, and I thought myself, how do they know when to come out? And they're not complain or moaning about hiding under the ground for a long, long time. And I felt that, like Jim said, it's a silence. I could feel that silence of just the beingness. They don't know they are flowers. We call them flowers. I call them flowers. But I felt there's so much strengths and powers, and I don't know what it is, but I felt that silence from them. How do they know? How do they know to being flowers? Just sorry, I'm not making a conclusion, going to any conclusion or anything, but maybe I can learn something from those little flowers, just to being me, not me as a desire, just let go of being human. And I think it's beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you, Ayu. Thank you.
Who would like to share? Teresa, take yourself off mute.
Sorry, I wanted to leave time for somebody else, but I was also bursting to mention that I've just recently come across or started to use technology, Instagram. And I'm quite proud of myself because, you know, I don't do all that stuff really. And but now I feel as though I'm a little bit hooked on it, like an addiction. And I'm there at night, I'm going through everything. And some of it is, I did it because I wanted to see Miracle Network, but there's other things. There's beautiful, loving things like babies and kittens and just love, as I see it. But then there's a lot of other things like history, not history as in, well, history as in the history I remember, music, royalty, all of that stuff, but it's the past. And I find my mind has now lost its peace because it's the past, it's not now. And I have all kinds of thoughts and what if it had been this way or that way, and I've lost all my peace. So one of the words I've been looking at just today was God is my only need. God is my only need, because we had this idea that we needed to be separate. And if I use that thought with everything that all the images that are popping up, I've got enough images in my own head without me taking more in, but with these images popping up, that peace, the second after I've said that, takes away all the stress and it shouldn't have been this way, all the resistance, all the separation. Yeah. So anyway, thank you. Just wanted to share that.
Thank you, Teresa.
Okay, we've come to the end of our time together. Thank you, Jim. That was wonderful. And thank you for stepping in and making a great job of it. And take yourself off mute, express your
We love you.
Thank you, Jim.
Yeah,
Thank you,
thank
everyone.
Miracle
you.
Network. Thank
Very
you.
good.
Thank you.
Polished.